Good morning, Manna family. Man, it's been great sharing with you this week. Well, it's day 4 of Morning Manna, and today we're going to talk about how being like Christ sometimes requires that we're quick to forgive and that we are insistent in loving our enemies. In Luke 6 verses 28, it says that for you who are willing to listen, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, and bless those who curse you, and pray for those who abuse you or mistreat you. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm completely honest, there have been some times in my life when I prayed for my enemies. I was a bit tempted to pray for judgment or for God to bring punishment. And while God does want us to be honest in our prayers, we should never attempt to pray down judgment and the wrath of God upon our enemies. Instead, we should pray blessings and love upon them. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't an easy task. It's not easy to always love your enemies and bless those who spitefully use you. And yeah, you're right. This definitely takes a supernatural work. We need supernatural assistance if we're going to follow Christ down this path. And in order to get this supernatural work, we need to do what is commanded, and that is to pray. We must pray for those who spitefully use us. Now, those who live under God's rule, that means the believers, okay? If we live in His rule and under His lordship, we must be careful in how we react in situations when we feel mistreated. Believers are called to respond differently than those of the world. We must respond in righteousness because of the name that we bear. Our response to our enemies must reflect His nature, which is why we bless those who curse us. It's why we love those who hate us. It's the reason we show justice to those who are imprudent, while we show mercy to those rather than vengeance. It's why we walk in humility rather than pride, why we do respond with good over evil. You see, if we want to be like Jesus, we must follow His ways. He did not deserve the treatment that He received, yet Jesus prayed for those who persecuted Him and who spitefully used Him. Even Jesus, before taking His last breath, he utters a prayer to the Father asking for the forgiveness of His enemies because they knew not what they were doing. And He did this all while living out a perfect life, and to then die a death He didn't even deserve. He understood the feeling of rejection and how to endure suffering. Fam, I want you to know that if you and I want to be like Jesus, we must learn to pray for others, knowing that we are upholding the nature and the character of Jesus. Well, Manna family, that is all that I have for you today. I'll see you right here again tomorrow morning.